anytime.
Whoa. Hello, and welcome to Oddball Sports, the show where we discuss more unconventional sports. My name is Travis Sherman, and today's guest is a bit different. Instead of a physical sport, we have someone who plays video games as a sport. My guest is Michael Worley. Michael, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm just wonderful. I'm just sugarcoat, pancakes, that's my life.
Awesome, glad to hear it. So we're going to be talking a lot about Rocket League. So what even is Rocket League? What's the gameplay like, and what happens in the game?
Well, Rocket League is essentially soccer, but you have 3 people facing off against 3 other people in cars that have rockets attached to them. You can go on walls, ceilings, and you can fly through the air. Anything to, put the ball into the other end,
So you play soccer with cars.
Yes.
That's the game.
Well, you can also demolish other people. You can blow up other people's cars.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when did you first find out about Rocket League, and how long have you been playing the game for?
I first found out about Rocket League about half a year after it released, but I didn't get to start playing it until about a year after it released, because although it's about half the price of a normal game, which is normal game's $60, so it was like $30, it still is.
Gotcha, yeah.
I am a broke college student. Well, even back then I was a broke high school student. So,
Gotcha.
But I've been playing the game for about 4 or 5 years now. And at one point I was really into it, but now I just don't have the time.
You don't have the time anymore, gotcha.
Yeah.
So did you ever get to the point where you wanted to join an esports team, or have you ever considered maybe starting your own?
Yeah, I was looking into the BGSU esports team even. But like I said earlier, I just didn't have time anymore, and my rank fell, and now I'm just like stuck in a position of skill that is not good enough to be on a team, because you need to be, because at one point I was in an above average rank, but you need to be really good, and you need to be willing to put in the equivalent amount of hours of a full-time job if you really want to do esports, especially professionally.
Oh.
So it's a huge time commitment.
That's a big time commitment, especially with college. So what do you think is your favorite part, personally, of Rocket League?
My favorite part is probably just, blocking the ball from getting in the goal, being a big wall, Whirly Bird the wall,
Is that your name, Whirly Bird?
Yeah, it is. And that's what I use for everything. Even my email, is just Whirly Bird.
Whirlybird@gmail. Yeah. Awesome. All right, so what other games are esports games, and then what tends to qualify a game as an esports game?
So some other games are like Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, CSGO, or it's called Counter-Strike Global Offensive. But those are some of the most popular. But of course, there's also the obvious of Call of Duty and some sports games such as the NFL games, the NCAA games, stuff like that. Anything can qualify, any video game can qualify to become an esports game. They just need to have their own leagues and organizations that put on physical competitive events.
Gotcha. So if someone wanted to start playing, how would they go about doing that?
Well, obviously, you buy the game first, and then you practice, and you try and find an organization in your area whose team you can join, or you just try to find as close events as you can to compete against other players.
Okay, awesome. So real quick, you're talking about your name's the Whirly Bird?
Yeah.
And do you stream?
Oh, I used to stream back when I was, really good at it.
So not anymore?
No,
not anymore. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here, Michael, and talking to us about Rocket League and then just esports in general. If you want to stay up to date with the Rocket League Championship or even watch past games, either go to twitch.tv/Rocket League or rocketleagueesports.com. That's it for today's show, and this is the last Oddball Sports this semester. You can find the other episodes on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching. And then they cut.